دنينا جنة دنينا جنة
أنا لا بس أنا مسانا بس أنا ملكنا بس كذا مسانا قول مسانا قول ده كل ما قال كذا فتاة كذا يبتة سوق يسوق
التيرنا أوبا إجرا فا نوفلشا فاتيوان إدعي لفت إدعي غدان إدعي غداموجين إدعي بوكو موسيس دولون نوياس يا أغابيس چني سانغومس سانغا وندبك أبو سيبولش جيفو سيتولي تولدن نبغالشي.
The Arsi Oromo are part of the wider Oromo people who traditionally trade their ancestry to the legendary father Oromo. From this origin, the Oromo are divided into two major branches, Borana and Barintu. The Arsi belong to the Barintu branch and are closely related to the Eastern Oromo groups such as those in Bale and Harorge. Their lineage is preserved through oral tradition and organizationally under the Geda system with structured leadership, age set, and community laws. Within the Arsi, society is divided into major clans or Gosa and sub-clans Balbala, with one of the most important internal division belongs to Sikko Mando Confederation. This includes branches such as Sikko and Mando, each with their own sub-lineages like Jawwi, Wayu, Karayu, and Wachale. These clan structures historically shared social organization, alliance, and resource sharing. Today, the Arsi mainly inhabit the Arsi zone and surroundings and maintaining strong cultural identity rooted in lineage and traditions. Within the Arsi Oromo, who belong to Barintu branch of the Oromo lineage, the Jawwi or Jawwe are one of the subgroups associated with Sikko side of the Sikko Mando Confederation. Under this Jawwi branch, the Abosara clan is recognized as one of the important lineage or Balbala, like other Arsi clans. The Abosara trace their ancestry through oral genealogies that connect them back to the wider Oromo lineage from Orma. And their identity is tied to both descent and social organization. The Abosara clan, like other Arsi groups, is structured around kinship, shared ancestry, and the principle of the Geda system. Members of the clan traditionally cooperate in matters such as conflict resolution, marriage alliance, and resource management, while detailed written records about specific sublineage like Abosara are limited. Oral tradition preserve their role within the Jawwi branch and their place in the Arsi society, especially in maintaining unity, cultural practices, and local leadership within the communities in the Arsi area. Dear our respected viewers, in this Geda program, we will present a focus on Abosara clan. We kindly invite you to stay with us. Aboosar belongs to Jawwi branch, which is one of the three main divisions or doors of the Arsi. As long as the Geda tradition had not disappeared, the clan served as Kalicha or Kumbi, the ritual leader, and the Wabe side. Those who assume the Bali leadership will receive blessings from Kumbi. By placing Kumbi at the center, they would bless the people so that the Geda system could govern society properly. This system continued up until the early centuries. However, after Menelik II invaded and oppressed the Arsi, they were no longer able to continue this system. Without the Kalicha or Kumbi, the Geda system becomes incomplete. Because this history had been hidden, people have now taken advantage of the current opportunity where the government is promoting cultural renaissance and working to restore the tradition and moral values or safu of the people, to research and rediscover it. Elders and scholars have testified that this history is true. Therefore, this will be proclaimed in the assembly. The clan will return to its rightful place and resume its role as Kalicha or Kumbi, serving all the Geda assemblies or Adecha under the Kitebe ritual site.
Ani maqaan kiyya Ali Yirphoo Mandooyyuun jedhama. Dhimma yaa'ii guyyaa har'aa kanaaf jalqaba irraa kaasee dhimma kana wajji socho'aa qorataa kan ture. Aboosarri Gosa?
My name is Ali Hirpo Mandoye. I'm the organizer of this event. The Aboosar clan is one of the RC clans and is considered a large and important clan. However, like other Oromo groups, this clan has faced pressures. As a result, some have become disconnected from Oromo identity. Nevertheless, the Aboosar clan is one of the branches of the three major RC lineages, specifically from the Jawwi branch. The Aboosar clan has 12 sub-lineages of its own, which means it is one of the clans within the RC Oromo.
Aboosarri gosa arsii keessaa tokko Oromoodha. Aboosarri gosoota arsii jiran keessaa gosa bal'aa fi
Aboosar is one of the Darsi clans that occupies a wide territory and has a large population. In addition, in the history of the RC, Aboosar, especially in this area, played a major role in bringing people together and uniting communities. It was known for making important decisions, giving blessings that were believed to bring success and pronouncing curses that were feared to bring harm. In the Oromo Geda system, Aboosar holds a high and respected position, and its name is among those widely recognized and honored among the RC clans.
Maqaan kiyya Ahmad Galatoo Kaawoo jedhan. Aboosara jechuun ka isaan horeetti maqaan isaa Aboosar.
My name is Ahmad Kayo Galato. I am the Hayu of Geda. The name Aboosar comes from Aboosar, who was named after his father. From this origin, the people came to be called Aboosar. Aboosar was the son of Haji Shale, and from him, the Aboosar clan traces its name. Aboosar is one of the RC clans. For instance, the RC are traditionally divided into three main groups: Sikko, Mando, and Manna. Among these, Aboosar belongs to the Sikko branch. The Sikko have 5 subgroups, one of which is Jawwi, and Aboosar is one of the groups within Jawwi. In another account of Aboosar history, when Islam first came to the country, Aboosar was among the first to accept the religion. At that time, because he adopted Islam, people began to regard him differently, either as like a Kalu or as someone who came from outside. However, Aboosar is originally Oromo and Arsi. Because of distancing from the wider community, their history gradually became obscured and they came to be seen as outsiders. As a result, Aboosar lost some of their traditions, forgot aspects of their identity, and became disconnected from the Geda system and cultural practices. In earlier times, however, Aboosar played a significant role in the Geda system. For example, during the Geda leadership transition ceremony known as Kumbi, it was Aboosar who used to lead and conduct the rituals.
Gosti kiyya Aboosara balballi kiyya baallitu balbala keessatti ammoo ani ambocha. Aboosarri gosoota sikko keessa jiran.
My name is Teacher Kamal Gamada. My clan is Aboosar, and within it, I belong to the Balitu and Ambocha branch. Therefore, Aboosar is one of the groups found within the Sikko division. The place where they lived include Gadab, Asbaso, and Dambal. In these areas, they lived for a long time while preserving their culture and traditions. They lived peacefully with the neighboring people and nationalities around them. During that time, they upheld the Geda system, engaged in trade by going to markets, managed water resources, and lived according to their customs. They also maintained their traditional systems of judgment known as Abo Sabango, through which they governed their affairs.
The history of this clan had been erased from Oromo identity and was attributed to Arabs. In the past, during trade, Arabs used to come to this land, buy and sell goods, and engage in commerce. Because of this, Aisha Khalifa, who was an Arab, came to the RC region, saying that she wanted to see the land where my father was trading. Bamu Daud, or the father of Ajishale, welcomed her, made her his wife. Afterward, Asha gave the birds to 7 sons, one of whom was Ajishale. Ajishale in turn had 5 sons, and the 6th one is Lion or Lenja. People who do not know this history in detail, hearing only small pieces, have mistakenly said that Aboosar is Arab. This is historical error. it has now been clarified that Aboosar is a pure Oromo descent.
Qaallichaa qaalluu yookaan aw'aa jedhan aw'aa miti ayyaantummaa ni qaba. Ayyaantummaa ni qaba abaarsuu hin geessaa eebbisuu hin geessaa abaarsuun balleessa.
What I have heard about Aboosar from early time is that this clan used to play a key role in the appointment of their Bagada by placing the ceremonial Kumbi staff and conducting the selection. However, due to various pressures, people became scattered and distanced from one another, which led to forgetting their custom and traditions. In addition, because Aboosar began to accept Islam, they came to be regarded in a way similar to Kalicha. Aboosar are considered Ayantu, people with special knowledge or insight. Because of this, it is believed that if they curse, it can be harm, and if they bless, it can bring success. They also uphold Safu, or moral values, and cultural norms. For this reason, members of the same clan do not intermarry. For example, in the past, if people unknowingly married within the same clan, the woman would be returned to her family. Furthermore, they live in harmony with their neighbors, sharing what they have with others. During the Geda system, when leadership changed every 8 years, Aboosar played a long-standing role in supporting and sustaining the system. This clan also been referred to as Hawa Shannon. This relates to a time when the war intensified and the RC were being attacked. At that time, 27 clans declared that themselves as Awa. The reason for this was that enemy force did not kill those who had declared Awa. It was believed that those who cursed with Awa would bring destruction, while those who blessed would bring success. This information came from the war, meant that people declared Awa out of fear in order to survive.
Dhibbaan ture gosti kun haga akka seenaa irraa hubachuu hin dandeenyetti fi akkasumas manguddoota adda addaa irraa hubachuu dandeenyetti hanga jaarraa 17ffaatti sirna duudhaa gadaa kana geggeessaa ture Aboosar.
Aboosar was a clan that from ancient times had its own customs and was able to sustain itself. And until about the 17th century, the Aboosar clan practiced the Geda system. However, after that period, especially following the wars of Melik II, the oppression and suffering inflicted upon them disputed and weakened their culture and traditions. During those wars, many people were killed and the community was broken apart, which forced Aboosar to separate from its original customs. During that time of war, 27 clans declared what is called Hawa. Hawa refers to a spiritual declaration among the Oromo, believed to have the power either to destroy if cursed or to bring success if blessed. It is said that Aboosar, like the 27 clans, made this declaration of Hawa in order to escape the destruction caused by the war. Because of this, even during the war, those clans that had declared Hawa were not tagged. Following this, Aboosar also declared Hawa, and later generations came to hear this history and continued to identify themselves in that way. Another major issue was that Aboosar was sometimes said not to be pure Oromo. This claim came from the beliefs that his grandmother was of Arab origin. His grandmother was known as Asha Khalifa Answar. From this, it is said that Haji Shale's mother was Asha, while Haji Shale himself was Aboosar's father. Because of this lineage, Aboosar was sometimes referred to as Arab. However, despite these claims, Aboosar is truly of pure Oromo lineage, belonging to the Jawwi branch and held an important and respected role within the Oromo Geda system.
The Aboosar clan is known for preserving its custom, moral values or safu, and for respecting women. In particular, Aboosar is well known for the high respect it shows to women. For example, if a woman walking on the road, people make way for her and allow her to pass first. If a woman comes from outside into home, she is welcomed, offered a seat, given the honor she deserves, and is treated with respect and blessings. In addition, the Aboosar clan lives in different areas, especially among the Abosara of Bali. There is a saying that our women are like a lion. There are also oral traditions connected to this idea. Therefore, Aboosar is considered one of the strong and respected clans within the Arsi.
As dhiyeenya kana sirni dhufaa lufaa keessaa'uu sirni safuu Oromummaa hin beekne Aboosaras dabalatee gosa baay'ee safuu fi safeeffannaa isaa keessa akka ba'u taasisee jira.
In the history of RCC Commando, Aboosar is a major clan. However, in recent times, the weakening of the Oromo cultural system and moral values has affected not only Aboosar, but also the Oromo groups, causing them to drift away from their original traditions. Therefore, gatherings like the one held today are meant to help Aboosar return to its original customs. They also aim to help the current generation understand past decisions and future responsibilities so they can connect with their traditional system. In doing so, they can restore the role Aboosar has within RC and a wider Oromo identity, as well as contribute to nation building. Bringing people together like this also helps revive and remember their culture. It is believed that such efforts like today's gathering will make a significant contribution.
Aboosarri kun balbala kudha lama qaba. Balbala lama qaba. Amboo shabbaamu jedhama. Amboo shabbaamoo keessa
Aboosar has two branches. One is called Ambo and the other Shabbamo. Within Shabbamo, there are 6 clans, and within Ambo, there are 6 clans also, making a total of 12 clans. All of these are united under a single Geda, which represents agreement, love, and coexistence, as well as Safu, morality, and respect for people. Aboosar is also respected for Ayantuma, or wisdom. Aboosar was born with 5 siblings, and the 6th one is the lion. Their names are Abosara, Bamuda, Kormine, Hora, Kodana, and the 6th one, Lencha or lion. Because of this, the lion is highly revered. If anyone harms the lion, they must pay guma or compensation. The lion does not harm Abosara, and Abosara does not harm the lion too. Some Abosara is spread across different regions. It is important for its people to stay connected. For example, Abosara communities found in the southern areas outside of Oromia, such as around Mareko of southern people, can come together to meet and learn the laws and follow them.
Arsiin tun bakka lamatti qoodamti. Waabee gamaa fi waabee gamana. Waabee gama uummanni baalee lafti garuu arsima. Waabee gamana ammoo arsii jedhama jechuudha.
The Arsi were divided into 2 parts by the Wabe River, one side and the other. Land on one side of the Wabe belongs to Bale, but the people are Arsi. The other side is known as Arsi. Because of this, on the Wabe side, when someone from Bale assumed the position of Bali, a leadership role, they held a high position and led the system. If that leader made mistakes, it was Aboosar who had the authority to discipline him and bring him back to the correct path. However, from the 17th century onward, all of this declined due to oppression and the inability to withstand the pressures and distortions of history. As a result, people turned toward religion, and this caused them to gradually forget their traditional culture and customs. Therefore, efforts have now begun to remind the current generation about this lost system so that they may return to their tradition. Today, this work has made it possible for Aboosar in Bali, RC, and in different regions to come together and reunite.
The Aboosar clan also declared themselves as Awa to avoid these saying, I am Awa. Later generation heard and preserved this history. This history is now being correctly recounted and officially proclaimed.
Aadaan tanaan dura dagatamee hadha asitti hin baa jennee yaadnu. We might
have thought that the culture, which had long been forgotten, would not re-emerge today. The current generation does not know much about their culture or their moral values. Safu. Therefore, bringing people together like these helps them understand their original traditions and cultural values. The reason is that people come together from distant and different places to share ideas and make decisions, which makes such gatherings very beneficial. Through discussion, culture can be preserved and strengthened, and people can live according to their traditions. The decisions made here are very important in helping Aboosar return to its original customs. Even though the Geda system had been interrupted, it can be restored again.
The laws that were proclaimed or announced are meant to guide the current generation on how to govern them. The elders and scholars or The Geda leaders gathered and delivered a strong message to the new generation, providing them with guidance and instruction to follow in order to preserve and practice their tradition system effectively.
Amma inni ayyaana ka kabaju sirna ittiin bulmaataa kaleessa arsii keessa inni isa tokko Haji Shaaleen kuni ka Daawudi ka Baamudi ka.
The reason Aboosar has gathered together is to establish a system of governance. This is because Aboosar is one of the descendants of Arsi, and the Arsi have their own culture, traditions, and laws by which they live. For this reason, Aboosar has become together to reaffirm its lineage and identity. For example, the father of Aboosar is Haji Shale, the son of Bamud, is the son of Roba. Roba is the son of Tare. Tare is the son of Web, and Web is the son of Ali. Ali is the son of Jawwi, and Jawwi is from Sikko, one of the Arsi's lineage. Thus, just as all Arsi have the Geda system, Aboosar also had 8 in the past. However, it was forgotten and its system of governance weakened. Therefore, it has become necessary for people to gather like this in order to teach and pass it on to the current generation.
Kaayyoon ol argaa Aboosaraarraa tokko dhalootaa fi gosti kun akka wal baru namoonni baay'een ammayyummaa jedhameeti.
The purpose of today's Aboosar gathering is to strengthen unity among the current generation so that people who've been scattered in different places can reconnect and get to know each other. It is also intended to help the Aboosar clan rediscover its original identity and live according to its traditions and moral values. Especially in relation to the current cultural renaissance being encouraged by the government, this gathering aims to help Aboosar return to its original customs. In addition, it seeks to help Aboosar better understand its role within RC and to recognize and make use of its place among the many RC groups, about 20 that practice their systems in different areas. Finally, this gathering serves as a forum where the Geda leaders, where Abbootii Gedas pass laws and make decisions to guide the community.
Waliin qabamuun kun sirna wal barsiisu, ka dagate wal yaadachiisu, namni hin dagate. Aadaa kalee Arsiin ittiin bultu, Arsii maratu dagate Aboosara qofaa miti.
At present, in many places, the Oromo people have forgotten their culture, including RCC Commando. Aboosar is no exception. For example, in the past, they had the Geda system by which they governed themselves. They also had established systems for marriage, various customary laws, and even traditional processes for resolving conflicts such as settling blood, compensation, guma. All of these have been forgotten. However, RCC Commando has come together and established the law again. Therefore, since it has become necessary to teach the current generation, the main purpose of this gathering is to help them understand their culture and to return them to the way the RC used to live in the past.
Arsiin bahee guutuu as jira to'atame, guuttadhee guuttee baheera to'atame.
Aadaa safuu, aadaa fuudhaa, aadaa duudhaa amma inni tumataa jiru tokko ogii mana keessatti akkaataa itti fuudhu, akkaataa itti heerumsiisu. Kalee.
When the RC gathered and carried out their system in different places, Aboosar was part of them. Therefore, this gathering is meant to confirm that Aboosar truly belongs to RC. Likewise, any system the RC established or decide upon, Aboosar also puts into practice. Because of this, it has become necessary to make the current generation aware of these traditions. For that reason, RCC Commando has gathered and has also made it possible for Aboosar members who live outside the Oromia region to come and participate in this effort.
Bariisii deebisi, bara nagaa sii godhi, afaan kee ol beesisi, taadhii sii deebisi, waatii sii deebisi, gaachana jannaa deebisi, gaaddidduu ganya sii deebisi, baroodaa sii deebisi, bara nagaa sii godhi, sanyii kee bariitti deebisi, afaan kee holaa beeku, gadaan tee gadaa nagaa haa taatu, gadaan tun gadaa araaraa haa taatu, gadaa araaraa haa taatu, Oromoo holaa beeku, Arsiisi Commando holaa beeku, Booranaa Barreentoo holaa beeku, toltu gadaa roobaa nagaa toltu.
dinniina jenna.
Karoora naannoo baasa namni sana baasa namni gaana baasa gadaa misaana godhe gadaa mirgaana godhe misaana godhatee mirgaana godhatee. Kun magaalaa kaayii dabarfataa kaayii buttee suuqa